Welcome to the Early Edge. My name is Sia Nejad, the counselor, and we've got a packed show today. So let's just get right to it. Let's pull up the recap screen first so we can see how we did from yesterday. Let's look at Zach Simony. Zach attacked 2 for 2. The speculator hitting his. Allan getting a couple wins there. I got 2 wins, and I'll tell everybody 8-0 on the week. Starting on Monday, we hit a lot of college basketball, and then we started following up with some golf. 8-0 if you followed my picks and most of those, especially the college basketball ones over on SportsLine. But a pretty good day yesterday from the brand. But I'll tell you what, we're looking to have an even better day here on a Saturday. But before we get to introducing everybody, I want to get to our bracket games. I think everybody in the chat, listen, I've been pleading with you. I know Allan and the coach have been pleading with you. You got to get your bracket in. So if you're in the chat right now, I want you to do 2 things. Hit the like button and say, yeah, I'm registered. Put yeah, I'm registered. I'm registered for the tournament because March Madness, it's almost here. We got Selection Sunday tomorrow. And what does that mean? It means brackets. So come lock in your spot for 2023 Early Edge March Madness Bracket Challenge as we all of us compete against each other free for tournament glory and prizes too. Simply scan the QR code that you see right now on the screen or go to cbssports.com Early Edge to lock in your spot right now. All right, everybody. It's time to bring in the stars of the show, and we got a lot of them. We got a full crew, and I'm so happy to see it. Look at these faces. Look at these faces. Let's start with my main man, and I'm giving him some relief. He's sitting in the analyst chair, which is pretty cool. AB, how's it going?
Man, see ya. All right, first off, you're doing a heck of a job. Obviously, you've been hosting, crushing it. And you know what? We spoke yesterday in regards to kind of the baseball unwritten rules, right? Dude, and we talked about it. Look, as long as the pitcher brings it up, it's fine. It's just everyone else in the dugout. So, dude, applause, man. Well done. You crushed it.
Yeah, Allan, it's been a nice week. Listen, we have good runs. All of us have good runs. Everybody on this screen has had good runs. And sometimes you have bad runs, but let's immerse ourselves in the good run. 8-0. Actually don't have a pick today, and it's mostly because the golf matchups with round 2 kind of pouring over to round 3. We didn't really have matchups available, and I didn't love anything in college basketball. But perhaps tomorrow on Sunday, I'll have 1 or 2 picks, and maybe we'll go to 10-0 on the week. That would be fun. Let's go to Micah. Micah, how is it going?
Going good, man. Real excited about today. The game's great to see you guys. And yeah, let's kick this off. Let's go.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Propstarz, my guy. We do shows during the NFL season. We do shows during the non-NFL season. It's always SportsLine season, and it's always winning season for you. How's it going?
What is up, cousin Sia? How's it going, everybody? I vote Micah for best background on SportsLine. Always love seeing that pool vibes. Always feeling really good when Micah is on the show. Big shout out to the SportsLine chat as well. I've been hanging out there all week, so it's nice to be on the other side as well. But shout out to all my people in the chat.
Now, saving Bob and Jamie for last was actually purposeful because they're New York Giants fans, and they threw it in my face last time I hosted a show last Saturday. So that we had some Daniel Jones talk before the show. I think Bob and Jamie were kind of on both sides of the fence in terms of the signing. I'll tell you, I think it's probably a good signing. You don't want to risk not having a quarterback right now. But anyway, Bob, let's start with you. Forget about Daniel Jones for a second. How are you doing?
Doing good. Good morning, counselor. Good morning, everybody. Great to be here. It's been a great weekend of college basketball. We got a lot of great games today. So just like Micah said, let's get after it.
I love it. And Jamie, certainly the best for last, right? How's everything going today?
Sia, thank you. I am doing awesome. I was over at the Garden earlier this week for the Big East tournament, and I tailed both of EC's overplays, which hit. So my friends and I were actually pretty happy because I told them, I said on the last show with Coach that EC's my guy, and I backed it up again at the Garden to my friends, and we tailed those picks. So we're feeling pretty good today.
I'll tell you, yeah, in college basketball, I think we've been pretty good overall. So I'm looking to extend that through March Madness. I think it's going to be March Madness is going to be so exciting. We're going to have so many shows, we're going to have so many picks, and we're going to really deep dive. So Pepperjack, I see you in there. Everybody in the chat, I see Sia is the GOAT. I don't know about that, but I'm the GOAT right now, so that's pretty cool.
See it. Let me interrupt your flow one time. Let me go ahead and get you used to doing that. Yesterday on the show, we spoke about Tennessee, Missouri first half under 66.5. And we said if it hit, we'd give out an early edge merch prize. Well, guess what? That under hit, man. Like Tennessee unders in basketball crush in the first half. So our man, Wenzel Walker, is our winner. Wenzel, I will get with you after the show, get that merch prize sent out to you, get the address and everything. Congratulations. Well done. See you back to you.
Absolutely. Alan, you can interrupt my flow anytime. You can even take over anytime, as far as I'm concerned. Before we get to the picks, I do want to get to the storylines. We got a couple storylines here. And Propstarz, I'm going to start with you. Listen, I mentioned Daniel Jones, and I understand it's not NFL season, but the NFL draft is around the corner. By the way, I looked at some lines when it comes to the NFL draft. I'm not a big guy that bets on the NFL draft, full disclosure there, but I noticed CJ Stroud is minus 425 to be the number one pick. I thought that was very interesting. That is a gigantic number. But regardless, we had a big trade yesterday, and it involved quarterbacks. Talk about it.
We did have a big trade, and before we break that trade down, I do want to mention that I love betting both the NFL and NBA drafts. I will have some content on both of these drafts this year. I will also caution people, the easiest way to actually get your account limited is by betting both the NFL and NBA drafts. So just something to be conscientious of when you do, in fact, bet the draft. But yeah, Bears made a huge splash. Panthers made a huge splash. They acquired the number one overall pick in exchange for the 9th pick this year, the 61st pick, as well as a 2024 and 2024 first and second round pick next year. So looking at this Panthers roster, those could easily turn into top 10 pick next year. Also going to Chicago is wideout DJ Moore. That's just a monster haul, in my opinion, for the Bears. Just the draft compensation alone. Then you top it off, you get a wide receiver who just turned 25, who's already had 3 1,100-yard seasons under his belt. To me, that seems exactly like the type of player that you'd want to pair with a top quarterback who the Panthers seem likely to take. Looks like it's going to be a 3-horse race there between Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson. Frank Reich is going to have his pick of any quarterback. So really going to need to hit on that pick. I feel like if that quarterback doesn't at least turn into, I don't know, something like Andrew Luck or maybe Joe Burrow, it's going to be a disappointment. That quarterback's got to be winning games in the postseason for this trade to really pay off for the Panthers. But huge haul for the Bears here. I really think in their position, this is just an awesome deal when you already have Justin Fields and now you can attack both sides of the football.
Alex, I see Mike McClure is in the chat, and that's awesome. And he says, yes, Alex is correct. If you have aspirations of betting volume later, do not bet on the draft. So let me kick it back to you real quick. Is that because sportsbooks take exception to the idea that, well, if you're betting on the draft and you're winning and maybe you're betting big, that you have insider information and they take exception to that?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. So honestly, that's really interesting because people who might be successful on the draft and betting on the draft, they maybe they're just guessing good and they don't have insider information. So it's something to be cautious about because the last thing you want to do, and Propstarz, you're the king of this, right? Because you've been so successful. You don't need insider information. You've just been successful and you've been shut out from some books because of that success. So keep those things in mind when you're betting, because that's certainly not a place where you want to be, where you're searching for your next sports book because the one you really like shuts you out. Just something to consider. I think that's really sage advice. Let's talk about another storyline. Let's take a left turn, in fact, and talk about NASCAR. Micah, talk to us about what's going on in NASCAR right now.
We're in the 4th race of the season at Phoenix. It's the first race using the short track race package, which also includes the road courses. So this will be the first race. And the difference this year from last year on the new car is 2 inches on the spoiler, 2 inches reduction. So it's only 2 inches now. So when the cars go now, they don't have that knowledge or feel of the car being stuck to the ground with the back of the spoiler. So the aerodynamics will be different. You're going to see a lot of spin outs and a lot of wrecks because people think that they can hang it and they can stick the turn and they can't. So look for cautions, maybe angle there to bet the over. Some of the guys to look at: Kevin Harvick, all-time winner at Phoenix, 40 races, 9 wins, 19 top 5s. The guy's the best ever at Phoenix. He started racing there in 1998 and even before his Cup career. So he's been racing at this track his whole life and good. But the Fords have a question with this this race package. So Harvick is still going to be good. He'll have a top 10, but I don't know about the other Fords. They're going to be on the down cycle here. What you're going to look at again, Kyle Busch, 3 wins lifetime, 12 top fives at Phoenix. He just like Harvick, he started his career there racing, wins and rest races. And then Larson, Blaney's hasn't won yet, but he's got 5 top fives at Phoenix. This has been a good track for him. And then, of course, Ross Chastain is somebody to look at. He was top 3 in both races last year, led the most laps in each race. So Chastain would be my top look here, and Larson and the Chevys are going to be fast as well.
Absolutely.
All right, now, may I interrupt real quick?
Yeah.
All right, Micah, our man, Trent Wade, got 4 for you. What do you think about these? All right.
Okay.
So Alex Bowman and Kevin Harvick finished top 10, -140 on both of those.
Okay.
And then 2 matchups, Kevin Harvick over Martin Truex Jr., -112, and Suarez over Bubba Wallace, -118. Anything you like there?
I like 3 of them. What was the third one?
Kevin Harvick over Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, just because of the Fords. They're on the down cycle on this type of track right now. So we'll see when they come out. We haven't seen them run. It's just what I've heard from some of the crew guys telling me who's going to be good and who's not going to be good. And Ford is third of all of them. So as great as Harvick is, Truex is he's really good at this track. I think the Toyota is going to be fast. So I would be cautious of that one. But the other 3, yeah, sounds good.
Nice. And Sia, I promise, last time I'd interrupt you.
No, I want you to interrupt me more, actually. I truly do. And by the way, I kind of missed the chain. So maybe next time we're on a show together, you could either wear the hat or the chain. It's just something I prefer. And Alex, go ahead. You have something to say.
Sia, can I set the odds for AB interrupting again by the end of the show? I'm going to put it at -200 right now, and I'm booking action for anyone in the chat.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's even on the board. -200 is the bet of the year, and no apology needed, Allan. There. Listen, we are finally going to get to the picks, but before we do that, we are going to take a break and hear a word from our partners.
All right, hold on. It's going.
Maybe.
March Madness is almost here. Who's in? Who's out? The answers are revealed on the March Madness Selection Show, March 12th on CBS.
I got caught up reading the chat.
Hey, that's a good place to get caught up. Speaking of the chat, Allan, I'm actually glad you mentioned that because I'm looking right now. We have 800 people watching. We have 127 likes. Seriously, what's that about? Guys, ladies, girls, gentlemen, hit the like button, 1. And 2, I want to know if you're registered for our March Madness contest. So put in there that you're registered. Maybe you take the chat down right now and just really quick register. Either way, you got to hit the like button, guys. Guys and girls, please hit the like button. Okay, let's finally get to the picks. Micah, I'm going right back to you, man. You've got a pick here in college basketball that I'm interested in. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we got Kent, Toledo championship game, MAC. These are the 2 teams that were supposed to be there at the beginning of the year. Every preview magazine had 1-2 prediction, Toledo and Kent, and here they are 1-2 in the MAC. And Toledo has been unreal. Defense, not so good, but the offense has been killing it. Number 2 scoring team in the nation, 85 points per game. And defense, again, not the best, but shooting-wise, they're going to outshoot you. So they've won 17 straight, and they haven't lost since losing to this Kent team on, that was January. 17 straight wins for Toledo. So they've run the gauntlet, and they're here, and they're supposed to be here. But Kent's supposed to be here as well. So slug out. It's perfect spread. It's 1.5, and it's down to pick now. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Toledo, number 2 3-point shooting team, 40% shooting, and then we're going to go Kansas and lay 1.5 there against Texas. And this is the only loss that Kansas has had in their last 9 games. They won 7 straight. Lost to Texas at Texas, and then won their last 2 impressively covering. It's a team they don't cover that often, so they've been off my radar. Kansas hasn't been a play a lot for me this year because the spread's too high, overrated, I guess you could say. But they're coming together now, and you can feel the momentum with the Kansas team, and I like them here. I think they're going to do well in the tournament as well.
So, Micah, I love what you said about coming together now because there's a lot of teams, especially, and I'm not saying Kansas is a young team, but part of the reason I've been on Duke over the last 2 days, and they just covered so easily against Pitt, and they needed to squeak one out against Miami for the cover. But this is a freshman-led team for the most part that has really kind of turned a corner really, I mean, they've won 8 games in a row now, but it was really at North Carolina where I was like, okay, this team has grown up offensively. They're moving the ball really well, buying into John Shire. So when you guys, you're in this March Madness bracket, when everyone is filling out their bracket, my advice there, and I say this a lot, don't necessarily look at all the season stuff. Look at what Micah was just talking about. Which teams are really kind of putting it on, coming together, being efficient, winning games down the stretch, because those are the teams that are going to be super high impact. Micah, I got to ask you to make a call here, because I like Kansas, and I know brackets aren't coming out. But if you had to pick 1 or 2 teams that, regardless of seeing brackets yet, that you think are going to be there in the final, is there 1 or 2 teams that you're really looking for when you're filling out your bracket to be like, I expect them to be there?
Well, there's teams that I had marked, like Eastern Washington, teams that are going to upset somebody, or, the grinder team like Toledo. They win today. I don't want to face them what are they going to be, a 9 seed, 10 seed? I mean, this is a really good team, and you're going to face this team. You're going to come up and you're going to be somebody that's a Power 5 team, and you're going to get smacked in the face, and you're going to have 3-pointer raining on you, 40%. And you're going to be down by 20 before you know it. And it's hard to see some of these big teams with the logos and the names that everybody knows fall like that. But Toledo's a team that definitely can do that.
I love it.
Anybody want a nugget? And also, Alex, cash that -200. Would anybody like an NCAA tournament nugget here?
Yes.
Okay. A 1 seed has won the NCAA tournament 5 years in a row. However, the number 1 overall seed has not won the NCAA tournament since 2013.
Wow. Very interesting. And not altogether surprising. Again, -200 cashes. I love it. And Allan, it looks like you're having fun with the chat. Is there anybody in particular you want to give a shout out to that just made you giggle in the chat?
Dude, everybody. Look, we're talking about prison. We're talking about dude, I'm telling you, I absolutely love this chat. Like, it cracks me up, and I love to sit here. Now, it cost me on that ad read, and the bosses are going to probably yell at me, but it's fine because, dude, I'm telling you, our chat is the best in the world.
It really is. And by the way, you've already got the likes up to 300, in spite of the fact that there's over 900, almost 1,000 people watching. 300 is not bad. I think we can do better. Pull down the chat, hit the like button, pull the chat back up if that's what you have to do. But what I have to do is I have to get to the man, the myth, the legend, one of my favorite people in the world. It's Propstarz, because he has an NBA prop to give out, and we all want to hear it. All 1,000 of us, 300 of which have hit the like button, want to hear it. Alex, what you got?
I got you, Sia. Yeah, shout out to the chat. We're going DeAndre Ayton over 17.5 points. Yes, I know this line is currently 18.5. It's still playable there. If you're a SportsLine subscriber, I gave this pick out yesterday, actually, shortly after this line went live. So if you're a SportsLine subscriber and you've got our app with notifications turned on, you've already received 1 point of closing line value. So kudos to you, and all the more incentive if you're not a SportsLine subscriber to become one, because you can too get a point of closing line value. But I love this spot for DeAndre Ayton. He's coming off of 4 relative duds by his standards, so this is a great opportunity and matchup to bounce back for him. His dip in production can easily be attributed to the arrival of Kevin Durant, who's obviously going to be inactive today. We're talking about a small sample here, but with Durant in the lineup, Ayton went down from 13.7 to 6.7 field goal attempts per game. So out of all of the Suns' stars, his usage was really the one to be impacted the most, and obviously took a big dip there. But without Durant in the lineup, this is just a great spot, great matchup, as I mentioned, against the Kings team. They're 10th in pace, which I love to see. They're also 4th in defensive rating. When we're playing overs, always looking to exploit a matchup where the team is up-tempo and also don't play great defense. Also, Ayton's had some huge games against the Kings, faced them twice this season. He's averaging 23 points, nearly 12 rebounds, while shooting close to 80% against the field goal percentage. And yeah, this is just a great spot to back Ayton without KD in the lineup. Previous to KD joining the team, Ayton had eclipsed this line also in 12 of his previous 15 games. So give me DeAndre Ayton over 17.5 points. That's the number we got. Also, I'm playing it at 18.5, but I would scale down to a half unit at that number.
Love it. Love this spot for DeAndre Ayton. And I just love watching Allan just smiling throughout. Listen, can I just say, this is part of the fun of this show, right? I mean, I think everybody in the chat who's very familiar with this show, it's not just about the picks. And it's not necessarily just about the picks and the education behind it. And those are the pillars of this show. But This chat is awesome. This is the best chat in all of sports. It really is. And so I got to just give a shout out to the chat because we appreciate you. And I know I can tell Allan really appreciates you too.
Well, dude, you're 100% right. And like, as soon as you, at the beginning, when you said registered, I knew exactly where it was going to go. And the first person that dropped registered sex offender.
Yes. Poor choice of words by the attorney. That
It's
didn't
right up
see
my
that
alley.
coming.
I love it.
Didn't see that coming. All right. Well, let's see something else coming. We want to hear a word from our partners, and then we're going to get to a lot more picks.
Welcome to the UEFA Europa League on Paramount Plus.
What a night!
Your home for more ultra-competitive, world-class soccer. Where Europe's elite and soccer's Cinderellas pump out that one-of-a-kind white-knuckle excitement that grows with every cut, every cross, and each and every... The UEFA Europa League. Stream every match live exclusively on Paramount Plus.
All right, we are back. And Jamie, I'm going to you. I'm not going to keep you last like I did in the intros just because you're a New York Giants fan. You've got a few picks, all of which I like, and one of which I really like because I've been on one of these squads that you're on today. So talk to us about the 3 picks that you have.
All right, I'll save that one for last because I have a feeling I know which one you're talking about. I also want to shout out the chat. Drop that bread emoji because that's all we're getting today. Let's get this bread. First pick I like, Mitchell Robinson over 8.5 points. He's done this in both games without Brunson, and he's done it in 7 of his last 8 games since returning from injury. The Clippers aren't exactly a great matchup defensively, but they do tend to struggle against centers if they do struggle against anything. So I do like him to hit that number. And then moving on to the Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox over 25.5 points. Light the beam, baby. He has hit this number 8 straight times in a row until 2 games ago, and it was over 30 points. Previous 2 games he hasn't hit it, but he went 8 straight games of hitting 30 points. I think tonight he gets back on that train, and he's hit this number 10 of 13 of his last games, and 39 points against the Suns the last time the Kings faced them. So I do like him to get back on track. And then the pick that I do think Sia is referring to that he likes is I like Duke tonight. Duke minus 2.5. I think they cover this number. They're hot, 8 in a row. They had a dominating performance against Pitt. They haven't lost a game since Virginia. And the game before that, they lost against Miami. They took care of business against Miami, and they continued that revenge tour tonight against Virginia and win the ACC tournament. And they're going to go into this March Madness pretty hot and going pretty far in a lot of people's brackets, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're catching Duke at the right time. There's no question about that. Young team that's growing up in a pretty big way. Love all 3 of those picks. Bob, again, I'm not going to save the New York Giants fans for last. I'm saving Allan for last because he has a bevy of picks that I'm very, very interested in. But you've got a couple college basketball picks that I'm also very interested in. So talk to us about it.
Yeah, I got 2 plays. I'm glad that Mike and I align on one of them. I'm also taking Kansas. I got minus 1.5. It is moving a little bit. The only 1.5 I currently see out there is on FanDuel. You got to drink some juice at minus 120. But all stats aside, Micah did a great job talking about it. But I'm going to stick to the more emotional side. I mean, they're not with Bill Self. And I think that they just want this more than Texas. I know Texas might be without Timmy Allen, their big guy down low, which might be very hurtful for them. So Kansas has been a lot more effective shooting the ball. I know Texas has a very good defense, but through the emotional standpoint, I just think Kansas gets it done here and gets the Big 12 title for Bill Self. And then my second pick, I was on this team last night. I'm going to go right back to him. I do like Vanderbilt getting 6 against Texas A&M. Vanderbilt's rolling right now. After the last night outright win and cover, they are now 9-1 in their last 10 straight up. ATS. And just watching that game last night, they were able to keep Kentucky, who's the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the country, pretty much off the boards. I know Oscar Sheetway did have 19 and 15 last night. In my opinion, they still contained him the best they can. They don't have Liam Robbins, one of their best. They're probably their best player, and they were just able to grind out that win. They were shooting lights out from three. They are shooting, I think, above 40% for their last 3 games. Texas A&M does not shoot well from 3. They're shooting 20% in their last 3 games, but Vanderbilt also defends the perimeter very well. They've just been playing very well as a squad. They were very poised throughout the entire game, even when they went down 10 early and fought their way back. They were hitting big shots in the paint. And this is just a team that I really don't want to get in front of right now. I think 6 might be a lot, so I'm going to take Vanderbilt plus 6 as well.
Vanderbilt really surprised. They surprised me by winning. I did think that line yesterday against Kentucky was really curious, and I almost made it. I think it was plus 8.5. I almost made a play on that for the show yesterday. I pivoted to Duke, and I only had the one play. But Vanderbilt's a really interesting team. They can get hot, and they can beat some really good teams. So I'm curious to see how that one goes today. Allan, we're going to you, and I love this because we get NASCAR talk. We get, of course, the NBA stuff and the NCAA stuff. And then you take us in a different direction because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, I'm kind of a rookie when it comes to this, but you've got some MLS and college baseball picks?
Yeah, we got both of them. And I'll tell you what, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and put the screen up because it's a lot to take in. If that work for you?
100%. Yeah. You're the boss. I'm just talking.
No. Hey, we all do this together. Let me go ahead and put this up so everybody can see it. Now, look, Golden Corral, all the boys down at the Golden Corral, we've been working together, and I wanted to show you what we could do for maybe some sort of partnership here. Look, this is going to be a buffet-style play picks today. All right, let's start the MLS. First, Philadelphia Union team total over 1.5. Yes, it's priced at minus 150. It's juicy. They had a horrible game last week, and this is arguably the best team in the MLS. They're at home. They are going to dominate today, taking them team total over 1.5. Vancouver, Dallas, both teams to score minus 135. Toronto, Columbus, both teams to score minus 130. And Portland and St. Louis, both teams to score minus 140. Again, I certainly understand this is not something where you have to play all 1,900 plays that I have here, but take what you like, do a little research, see what you see. There you go. All right, now college baseball. All right, so we're going to go with 4 parlays here. First one, college baseball money line parlay, plus 130, Arkansas and TCU. TCU was embarrassed last night against San Diego at home. Quite frankly, a team that they should not lose to whatsoever. They're going to boomerang, come back today, pairing them with Arkansas. We're also going to go plus 100 parlay, LSU, Vanderbilt, and Florida State. We're going to go plus 110, East Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee. And then we're also going to go minus 130, Auburn, Alabama. Alabama hurt us last night. We had them in like 2 or 3 different plays. They were undefeated coming into the game last night against Columbia at home and lost. We're going to boomerang them, bring it back, get the win today.
That's a lot. I absolutely love it. You
that's the thing. It's a ton. So I wanted to just put it out there and say, look, not telling you to play all of them. Take a look, do a little research, see what you like. If you want to play all of them, have some fun, for sure. But, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely love it. I think you just convinced me to bet some sports that I don't normally bet. I got to be honest with you. Guys.
Is fun. Yeah, let me say this. College baseball is tough because, it's almost impossible to watch the games. It's very difficult to find them. So you kind of have to, you have to go old school and, stream what you can and then follow, Gamecast box scores. And then MLS, I mean, obviously you can find those. MLS is awesome. If anybody's not betting it, watching it, dude, MLS is fun as hell to bet because, they score.
Hey, Bob, I want to kick it to you only because before we end the show, I saw you kind of giggling. Was there something in the chat that was funny that got you laughing?
I mean, like AB said, the chat has been absolutely hilarious today. And, I just like to point out all those parlays. And I typed in the chat, I mean, EC would just absolutely be drooling at all those parlays. I mean, if AB could do that, EC might come the next time he's on with 21 parlays.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get him up there and get him firing these things out. I like when EC is rolling on that one. And Sia, also let me know when you want the screen back up so you can go through all the plays.
Absolutely. And we're going to do that in a second. But I can tell you, AB was very calculated in giving those parlays out because he knew Coach wasn't going to be on the show. And he knew if Coach was going to be on the show, he'd be catching some heat for whether that was justified or not. But Allan, good call. Let's actually bring that recap screen up so we can see all of these bets here. Now, Micah Roberts has Toledo minus 1.5. Berg bets, Vanderbilt plus 6, Kansas minus 1.5. Jamie has Mitchell Robinson over 8.5 points, De'Aaron Fox over 25.5 points, and our Duke Blue Devils -2.5. DeAndre Ayton for PropStarz over 17.5 points. And then Allan Bell, Philadelphia Union over 1.5, Vancouver, Dallas, BTTS, Toronto, Columbus, BTTS, Portland, St. Louis, BTTS. And then in college baseball, we have a money line parlay, Arkansas plus TCU. And we got another money line parlay, LSU, Vanderbilt, FSU. Another money line parlay, East Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee. And finally, at -130, the final money line parlay, Auburn, Alabama, grouped together, rivals grouped together. We're bringing everyone together here on SportsLine.
See ya. All right, so I've interrupted you for a 19th time today. Alex, cash that one again. I hope you put like 20 units on it. All right, so in the chat really quick, all right, we had a good question, comment here brought up. Hold on one second. Let me find it. All right, of course I can't find it. It was saying that we need a chat giveaway for today, and I completely agree. All right, now here's what we have to find. We're going to play somebody's pick, and if it hits, we're going to give a merch prize to someone in the chat. All right, so Sia, you're the host. You make the decision. All right, pick 3 random, and if one of them hits, we will give away a prize. Does that sound good?
So three of these picks, and if any of them hit, we give away some merch. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, let's go with Toledo -1.5. Let's go with Duke -2.5. And let's go with DeAndre Ayton over 17.5 points. Those are going to be the 3. And how does the chat get involved in this giveaway, Allan?
All right, so they're already involved. We got them. I see everybody in here. I generally talk with everybody outside of the show on Twitter. So if one of those 3 hit, I'll select someone at random, hit them up. Good to go. That sound good? Everybody good?
I absolutely love that. So thank you for somebody for bringing that up. And I saw Michael Macaroni in there. He asked if there was going to be any players picks. I will have a players matchup pick, if not more than one, tomorrow on Sunday's show at 10 a.m. None today. And like I said at the beginning of the show, it's because round 2 spilled over so much to this morning that there really wasn't any offerings. And to the extent there are on certain sites, I haven't seen them because they probably just got up after round 2 completed, which for the record was like 20 minutes ago. So no players picks for me right now, but I will definitely have some golf for you tomorrow, among other things potentially. But listen, that's our show, everybody. That was a really fun show. We had a packed house and we did everything we possibly could with it. But for now, you've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For AB, for Bob, for Jamie, for Micah, for PropStarz. Special props, by the way, to AB for producing the show and being an analyst and interrupting me at least 15 times. We are the Early Edge at SportsLine, and we will see you tomorrow.